It seems like we're in that time of year where every major VR headset manufacturer is announcing their new headsets coming out, and Meta still has not officially acknowledged the Quest 3S, the light version of a Quest 3 that we've got basically every leaked spec and everything else about at this point. But yet this week a whole bevy of pictures of a Quest 3S have dropped for us to check out here. A headset that looks really like a hybrid between a Quest 2 and a Quest 3, even by the size and shape of it. You can see the Quest 3 style head strap, and it's believed that this head strap will even fit a Quest 3 and vice versa for all accessories. You can see from a bottom view, the facial interface looks more like it's actually a facial interface similar to a Quest 2 one. There has been debate about whether the Quest 3 one will fit on there, and looking at this, I'd say it's possible, but the padding around the nose reminds me more of the Quest 2 style. We see that it does have the USB-C port, but no headphone jack at all, and then a whole array of microphones and other sensors around the headset. The biggest news of this, though, is we finally got potential specs on the battery size. The Quest 2 had a 14 watt-hour battery, and with its lower powered screens, most people could get around 3 hours with the Quest 2. The Quest 3 had a much bigger 18.9 watt-hour battery, and some people get as little as 90 minutes if they're doing mixed reality. A big part of that is because the Quest 3 uses pancake lenses, which have to have very bright, powerful displays behind them. The Quest 3S dropping right in the middle of those two, a 16.7 watt-hour battery, so hopefully at least comparable to the Quest 2 since it does have the more powerful chipset of the Quest 3, but the less high-powered screens inside. Most likely this battery life puts it just somewhere between the Quest 2 and 3, especially depending on if you're playing more mixed reality games. We've seen before that it looks like the exact same controllers that come with the Quest 3 are coming with the Quest 3S, but this definitely brings a little bit more questioning and doubts to the fact of how many accessories are going to work with the 3S that work with the 3, as the facial interface does look different, but it's really hard to tell until you get one in hand if it is going to fit the same ones as the Quest 3. There's even some new potential facial interfaces coming, but we'll talk about that more later in the news. You might remember a game back from 2016, Human Fall Flat, a huge viral success, a platformer that could be played solo or with up to 8 players online, and with about 160,000 reviews on Steam. Well, that physics platformer is coming over to VR now. Whether you're playing on a PCVR, PSVR 2, or any of the Quest headsets, it's going to come with all the levels from the game's original release, along with a selection of the extra dreams that are actually created by the community creators. Although a very short announcement video not giving us any sort of insight into the gameplay yet, it looks like it is going to be priced around $13, and with a bit smaller of a crew, you can play solo or online multiplayer with up to 3 other friends in the game, and they're saying it will feature an intuitive third-person view specially designed for VR headsets. It's exciting. I remember the craze that this game was back in the day, and it's exciting to see, even if it's been 8 years, that it's going to come over to VR in a new version. For now, you can at least wishlist it over on PCVR if you're interested. In the world of Quest 3 accessories, a very new and weird one popped up. Nathie actually spotted this. A spatial awareness face cover is what it's being called, that looks like it's either being dropped for the Quest 3, the Quest 3S, or both if the interfaces do work for both. It advertises it has a breathable design, a flexible frame architecture, and as you can see, it basically looks like you just separated the pad from the facial interface and left a big open space to the sides where you can look out. It makes me curious how supportive this would actually feel and be, because it does seem like the stock facial interface usually relies on the edges around the sides for stability, and this really would only contact in 2 points. But it's kind of the same idea as if you get a Bobo VR S3 Pro head strap that's a Halo style head strap, and then you just play without any facial interface, although this will still be contacting your whole face with a stock strap or with an Elite strap. And so it does make me question how the pressure would balance around on it, but it's an interesting design to see. It's just got gaping holes in the sides. What do you think? If you are someone who really likes Elite style straps instead, does having this open area have any appeal or advantage to you? Is this something that you might want to try out? Let me know. Big news in the Apple Vision Pro realm this week. Vision OS 2 is actually out now. Vision OS is Apple's operating system for their Vision Pro lineup, and this was announced back in June, and after beta testing and different options that you could opt into early, this is now rolling out to everybody. There's some new hand gestures inside to give you more control over rather than just pinching, even some quick options to help you pull up the things you need more often, like the time, the volume, the battery percentage. It's allowing you to actually customize your home screen, moving the apps around in whatever order you want instead of them being stuck in alphabetical. It lets you take your still flat photos and actually turn them into 3D spatial photos using advanced machine learning. So basically it just pulls what it believes to be the front subjects out and then lets you kind of look around them a little bit. It says it's improving the hand tracking and a comparison side by side showing how a teapot stays much closer to your hands. And now you can use Safari to actually watch videos in your environment and not be stuck with the entire browser window, but watch them in a virtual environment. Some other little details: the Vision Pro is now an AirPlay receiver. They got some new environments, some changes to the key keyboard, the mice, the guest modes. If you want to read the full breakdown, I'll leave a link in the description and comments. But it's nice to see that not only is Apple claiming that the Apple Vision Pro has been a success for them, but they're continuing to invest in it through updates and continuing to make it better. Still not sure it's worth $3,500, but it definitely sounds like some of these updates mean trying it again, or especially if you haven't tried one yet, it might feel more intuitive and feel like a better experience than when we tried one early on. Over in the PlayStation world, they are saying that now the PC experience, if you did get one of their PC adapters, has an update that is fixing bugs and improving the performance of it, especially for the users who are trying to use it with AMD Radeon RX graphics cards. The bug that was causing distortion when you tried to move your head sideways should now be fixed with that. People with those AMD graphics cards can adjust the frame rate now, and even an update for Bluetooth adapters that were having compatibility issues like the TP-Link UB500. This showing that Sony is continuing to bet further on people actually using these PSVR 2s on PC. I still personally haven't gone out of my way to buy one of these adapters to use for PC, but if anyone out there has done this, are you using it more for your PC than your PS5, or was it kind of a cool experiment, but it's mostly living with your PS5? I finally got my driving sim rig hooked back up to my PSVR with a sub pack in it. We've been enjoying playing that around here. But if you are someone playing the PSVR 2 more on your PS5, there is still some sales going on, and Mixed News drops some of their recommended games that you're going to save money on. Obviously, Resident Evil Village, we've said before, that's one of the top picks for PSVR 2, and right now it's $15.99 instead of $29.99. Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 is down to $23.99 instead of $39.99. And Arizona Sunshine 2, a significant drop for a newer game from $49.99 down to $32.99. There's some other decent sales. We'll leave a list of them here on the screen in case there's any that you spot that you would also want to go for. I personally feel like I don't play anything besides Gran Turismo on my PSVR 2 at the moment. With the wheel, the setup and everything, it does feel very worth it. As we said, it's that time of year. It seems like there's a lot going on, and there's a lot going on here personally for our channel. I'm actually already probably in Florida when this video drops for a big VR retreat, some exciting things happening. If you want to see more about what's going on over there, you might want to follow me on Instagram, where I usually drop stories when I'm traveling for VR stuff. Then we're headed over to San Francisco, find out what's happening at the big Meta Connect event. Atlanta after that for a big gaming con to show a bunch of VR out there too. Videos might be a little lighter over the next couple weeks, but watch out for a series on big upcoming things in our world. And if you have any questions about these new headsets, any of them, drop them in the comments down below, because we're also going to be starting some series where we answer a lot of your questions out there. But that's all I can say on that at the moment. So thank you once again for being here with me, and I'll see you in another reality.